The Bajaj Chetak has had an incredible journey from struggling to finding takers in early 2020 to becoming market leaders in 2024. Yes, the journey has been very interesting for the Chetak. Now, despite its success, Bajaj feels that there is scope for improvement, and I have got us this. This is the new Bajaj Chetak C25. This is the new entry-level product in the Chetak family. Looks similar to the Chetak, but there are a lot of different things on this scooter. We'll get back to that later in the video. But more importantly, how is this scooter to ride? Let's find out. One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah. So the most interesting aspect of the Chetak C25 is this. It gets a hub motor, which means the motor is positioned inside the wheel, unlike the swing arm mounted motor that we have seen on the Chetak 35 series. The advantage of this is that it is simpler in construction, doesn't need a drivetrain, and also it is cheaper. Now, in terms of performance, this is where the Chetak C25 lacks, because the power output is 2.2 kilowatt, peak power, continuous power output is just 1.8 kilowatt, and in terms of performance, it has a top speed of just 55 kmph. So the Chetak C25 is more of your point A to point B scooter. This is not a proper performance scooter. The acceleration is also mild at best. It doesn't feel very snappy or quick, which is the case with most of the electric scooters. And there are two riding modes, Eco and Sport. Most of my riding was done in Sport. So in terms of performance, this is not the forte of the Chetak C25. But in terms of a commuter, if you want to go from point A to point B, the speeds that it does, 40 to 55 kmph, you can easily ride the scooter. The other aspect I didn't like was the throttle calibration, because if you are going on the gas, when you roll off the throttle, if you want to brake, again you come back on the throttle, there is a bit of a lag. I think that is something that Bajaj needs to work. But overall, in terms of performance, if you want a proper city runabout, the Chetak C25 works. But if you want performance, this is not the scooter for you. The Chetak comes with a footboard mounted battery pack, and the claim range for the scooter is 113 km, and the real world figure should be close to 80 to 85 km on a full charge. There is an option for a 750 watt off-board charger. 0 to 80% charging is done in 2 hours and 25 minutes, while a full charge takes close to 4 hours. The styling of the Chetak 25 is based on the Chetak 35 series, but there are some visual differences. The horseshoe DRL has been carried forward, but the headlight form is different. The LED indicators have been positioned on the handlebar, and even the apron design is simpler compared to the standard Chetak. In profile, the Chetak design DNA is visible, but the rear section is different as the panel races upwards. The C25 also gets body graphics to make it stand out further. The tail section is completely different with a wraparound LED tail light. One thing we would like to point out is the Chetak C25 is smaller in size compared to its sibling, as the wheelbase is almost 100 mm shorter. But the overall styling is pretty, and the C25 does manage to stand out. Most of the panels on the new scooter are metal, but the front mudguard and the handlebar apron are made out of plastic. The front mudguard would be the first point of contact in an accident, and we feel it should have been metal and not plastic. So let's check out the ergonomics of the new Chetak C25. First up, the seat height. The seat height is pretty low at 763 millimeters. I am 5'10", as you can see. I am able to easily flat foot, and even for shorter riders, the seat height of the C25 is very accessible. Now, how's the riding posture? You get a flat, wide handlebar, and the riding posture is that of a typical scooter, which is upright and comfortable. One good aspect on the C25 is the handlebar position. It is on the taller side, so when I'm taking a U-turn, it's not brushing against my thigh, which is the case with most of the scooters. For taller riders, the C25 is providing you a lot of space and access. Even the seat space is good for the rider. I'm not sure how is it for the pillion. We'll have to wait for a road test to get you that answer. Second thing is the footboard area also. Even with my size 11 shoe, there is a lot of space to move around. So that's a good thing. Now, moving on to storage. You get two cubby holes below the handlebar to store your knickknacks, quite deep. You can actually carry some stuff over here. Apart from that, the underseat storage area is 25 liters. Yes, it is 10 liters less than the Chetak C35, but Bajaj claims that you can place a full face helmet over here. There is also no under seat light. And one more aspect of the Chetak C25 is that it is 17 kgs lighter than the 35 series, which is a lot of weight difference. So if you want to move the scooter around in the parking lot, it is very easy to move the scooter around. Yes, it does get a reverse mode, but yeah, even if you want to move it a bit, the lightweight nature really helps. The tubular frame is completely different to that of the Chetak 35 series, and the C25 is based on an all-new platform. With a smaller footprint and being 17 kg lighter than its sibling, results in the C25 feeling very nimble and quick on its feet. Cruising through traffic is effortless, and the light steering feel will be appreciated by most of the riders. The suspension setup is also good, and it handled most of the broken roads, but on sharp bumps, the front suspension does bottom out easily. Stopping power too is adequate for the performance on tap. So that was our first ride experience of the new Chetak C25, and let's get into verdict. First, let's talk about the positives of the scooter. The most impressive bit for me is the pricing of the scooter. 91,400 rupees. The pricing is absolutely aggressive, and this is the most affordable variant of the Chetak on sale. The second aspect is the styling. Yes, it has the same design DNA of the Chetak, and the Chetak is among the most beautiful looking scooters in ICE as well as in the EV segment. So the styling of the scooter is on point. Bajaj have given some funky color options and some graphics to make the C25 stand apart from its cousins. And the other aspect for me is the ride quality of the scooter and the convenience factor, because the riding posture, it's very comfortable. The ride quality of the scooter is good. It feels very nimble and agile to ride this scooter in the city traffic, cuts through traffic very easily because this is 17 kgs lighter than the C35. So those were the positives of the C25. Now coming to the negatives, the first thing is performance. The 55 kmph top speed, it is good enough for most of your city commuting, but if you want some thrill that normally one associates with a EV scooter, that is not there. So if you want performance, the C25 isn't the right scooter for you. The second thing that you won't find very good is the technology aspect. The scooter is pretty basic and simple to keep the cost under check. So if you want technology, if you want high features, again, go for the C35, not the C25. Having said that, you want a basic electric scooter which has decent performance, decent range, and coming at a very aggressive price point, I think the Chetak C25 does make sense. And I think 2026 will be the year of the affordable electric scooters, because Ather is also working on a affordable sub 1 lakh electric scooter. TVS is working on a variant of the iQube, and Bajaj has already got us the new Chetak C25. So yeah, very affordable electric scooters are coming into the market. And what's your take on the C25? What's the take on the pricing, the performance? Do let us know in the comments. If you have any more queries, please do engage with us. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the Acko Drive channel, and please share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching.
A perfect storm, a beautiful catastrophe.